when you think of sexy Italian sports cars, you might think of an Alfa, you might think of a Ferrari or a Lamborghini. Very rarely does anybody think of a Bizzarrini. Well, matter of fact is Mr. Bizzarrini worked for Alfa. He was key in the development of the 63 GTO Ferrari. He was also key in the development of the V12 Lamborghini engine. Then he went to work for Izzo. He developed the A3C, beautiful sports racing car. And then finally he developed his own car, the 5300, the Bizzarrini. This isn't just any 5300, it's a Stile Italia, which basically is what the SI stood for. And it's one of the 3 factory prototype Spyders. Well, anytime you stick a small block Chevy into anything that's fairly light and sleek, it's going to give you some great performance, and that's exactly the way this thing runs out. One, it handles really nice. It's got sort of that coil-over suspension if you want in the front. It's got the Watts link with the 4-link in the back. Works real good. It's got a set of big Dunlop brakes that haul the car down. It's got a sleek aerodynamic body with, if you want to call it, some early ground effects if you want. And the car performs real well. It's got a top end probably of about 160 miles an hour and gets from 0 to 60 in about 6 seconds. All in all, as far as the fun factor goes, you've got a car that really works nicely. The car feels solid and stable. I imagine the hardtop is a little bit more. You get a little bit of flex in the chassis with the Spyder. Keep in mind they only built 3, so they really didn't get into developing the chassis on these cars. But as far as weight distribution, Bizzarrini, being the racer he was, he had the fuel tanks down in each rocker with one in the rear bulkhead here, so he'd keep the weight nice and low, keep the center of gravity low, make the car work a lot better. The car really was a great performance car, but it had that Italian flair. It's a really good looking car. The interior on it, lots of leather, lots of Wilton carpet, has that nice Italian feel to it. Body construction, well, typical Italian. It's maybe not perfect in its proportions from left to right, but they didn't really care about. You could only look at one side of the car after all at one time. Total production of the Bizzarrinis around 130, 135 cars, but there was only 3 of these Spyders built. This is the last of the 3. It was the one at the auto show, and it's just a fabulous piece of Bizzarrini history. Well, if you look at the restoration on this car, even though it was performed in 1987, the car has held up beautifully. And in its day, it won its class in Pebble Beach, not a small feat. It's painted the original Ultramare blue, which is beautiful with the silver rockers. The car is exactly the way the car was shown in Geneva in 1969. Beautiful piece of Italian history. As far as values go, you got to look at the other Italian marques. Well, what's a one-off Ferrari worth? It'd be worth millions of dollars. So if you take that into context here, at $650,000, that's roughly what the owner says it's worth today. It's one of these cars that could spike up in value. It was probably worth $1 million a couple of years ago or a year ago, but it's one of those cars that could shoot right back up in value. All it's going to take is one guy that says, I have to own it, and it's $1 million car again.